All right. All right. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Bison, aka Bison Trades, over on Twitter. Welcome back. 2-week hiatus, boys. Woo! We are so fucking back. We are so fucking back. We are going to get into it. Let's talk about everything we missed. There's a lot. Not gonna lie, guys, this was the best 2 weeks off we could have asked for. There was not much going on, especially in Solana NFT world. Definitely more going on in the Ordinal side of things. Also, my camera's messed up. Oh my goodness, I need more headspace. Look, dude, I'm cutting my head off. Anyways, getting back into it, dude. We're gonna talk about the market. We're gonna talk about what we got ahead of us. Talk about some recap. Talk about what's going on in the market. You know the whole drill. If you could, please subscribe to the channel. It's right down there. You know, you hit that little red button, hit the little bell notifications. We do go live every Tuesday, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're back in business. If you want the podcast version, we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I have made it a point that as soon as the episode's done, it goes straight into podcasts. All right. We're not messing around anymore. We're recharged. We're rejuvenated. Even if the market sucks, we don't. All right. We're going to make money in this market. So with that being said, let's go ahead and bring on my wonderful co-host, my brother in content, Mr. Door. Door, how we doing today?
Yo, what's going on, dog? Every day's a holiday and happy to be back, man. Had a nice 2-week break, not gonna lie. Just came back from the beach today, so I'm feeling hella rejuvenated, ready to get after it, man. Market's been kind of slow, so I think we took off at the perfect time. Well, slow on the Sol side. There's been things going on. But yeah, man, there's so much happening that I'm just ready to jump in all of it, man. I'm happy to see you guys again, and thanks for tuning in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We are so back. I'm glad. Also went to the beach a good bit. Man, it's just been nice. It's been nice. Like, seriously, guys, I don't care if you're just like somebody who dibbles and dabbles in this industry, or if you're just one of us that spends way too much time at Web3. Take some time off. Go touch some grass. Get some sunshine. Vitamin D is your friend. I promise you. The markets, there will always be another trade to make. There will always be another play to look at. I promise you. So let's bring on our third co-host, our wonderful friend, Mr. JoeSol. Joe, how we doing today, bro?
Que paso, Campito. I'm doing well, man. We're out here, brother.
You're speaking more Spanish than me, Joe.
Lifetime somewhere, but yeah, man, it feels good. I had some time off. Got to do a little soul searching, feel some sun in my face. You know what I'm saying? Do the whole gig. Was down to less than a 1 hour screen time a day, so it was a big detox for me. But I do feel very refreshed and zoned in. So yeah, on the Web2 side, it's been cranking. So yeah, Web3 just chilling for me. It's been cool to kind of connect back in. It's funny seeing Bison everywhere I was in the past couple of days, just reconnecting, getting ourselves back into the field. So yeah, it's great to see Door. I know Door's out off in another country somewhere by a beach doing his thing. So yeah, we've all been living, man. It's great to see everybody.
Oh, it's nice to be back. It really is. I'm so glad we took this time off because, guys, we needed it. We needed it so bad. I don't know if you could tell by the old episodes. I hated everything. I still hate a good bit. We'll get into that in a little bit, but at least I'm just happy to see you guys, the listeners, the watchers. I'm happy to be with my boys, the co-hosts, and we're just gonna get straight back into the market. We're gonna head over to TIEXO, TIEXO.com. You want to know how long it's been? Is I haven't seen TIEXO's new update, and I'm going to go ahead and share it because it looks beautiful. I also got some bones to pick, and I know Max listens to the show over at, it's not Soul Sniper anymore, it's Sniper. We're going to talk about that as well.
Expanding the brand?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Sniper, but I want to bring over TIEXO. If you guys have not been over to TIEXO, this is my favorite analytics dashboard. I know Hello Moon listens, Walker listens, I know Max listens. Guys, I don't know what it is. This is beautiful. This is everything I want to know. I see all the marketplaces. They now have unique wallets, so we can now see how many unique wallets are on, Magic Eden versus Tensor. I can see first-time wallets, so now I can see, okay, where's the new liquidity coming from, and how much new liquidity are we getting? And Magic Eden's dominating that field, but literally we only have first-time wallets. We only have like 320. Like, it's not much. So this is good. Like, this is amazing. What they've done here is incredible, and I am just so happy to see it. But if we go over here, and I also want to talk to Max about this because this buyer's number is completely different than Soul Sniper. Soul Sniper is reading 3.7. This is reading 5.7. So I got it. And this one's reading 6,000 sellers versus 7,000 something over on Soul Sniper, or I guess Sniper now. I got to start saying Sniper. It is Sniper now. But I do want to talk to them because this is a big point. Like, I see a whole bunch of misaligned data. I don't want to say one's right versus another because I don't know. I don't know where this data is getting pulled from, but this has always been really representative of what I think is a neutral site, right? I would say Sniper's the other one that is very neutral, except they're about to not be, in my opinion. But, it just has very good data, and they've built upon it. And I feel like this is more right. This feels more right to me, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to break it down for you guys. I'm tired of rambling. Tensor over at 46,000 Solana volume. Magic Eden, 45,000 Solana volume. Not much change over there. That battle is still heating up. On the flip side, Hades swap over 15,000 Solana volume. Is a bull market back? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. It could be brewing, dog, and I think we'll get more into that later. But yeah, I think we got a bull market brewing.
Yeah, well, we might have something. We'll definitely talk about it. Exchange art, 1.5K Solana volume. That's not bad. That's better than I've seen it for a while. So this is all 24 hours. Again, if you want to change it to a week or a month or anything like that, you can go ahead and do so. I just love TXO. I feel like they don't get enough love as a data platform, and they've definitely been what I would consider some of the best data neutral sort of stuff. But guys, let's talk about the market. I know I'm not sure if you're like me, Dor, where I only catch up in the mornings. I may take I'm only taking a few trades. The only thing I've really minted was racks. We'll talk about racks as well. But Dor, how do you feel about the market? We'll go you first, then Joe.
I feel like we're just in that that bearish phase. I mean, we always go through these periods, couple months of a bull, couple months of a bear. It's the same cycle over and over. Right now in this bear phase, I think we're coming towards the end of it. We got a lot of mints on the horizon that I think will bring the liquidity back into the market. I don't want to say Ordinals is slowing down because I don't think it ever will, but we're starting to see a lot of those projects that are just trying to grift on Ordinals start to slow down, not mint out, not do well. So it's that phase of, okay, people made money there. They're probably rotated back over into Sol. So yeah, man, overall, I haven't taken really much of any trades. I'm even really trying to figure out where I'm trying to get my next position in the market at, really, other than the heist. And I just got to talk about the heist, and we can do that later. But other than the heist, man, I've just been, I guess, looting and chilling, dog.
It's not a bad place to be. I certainly do approve of that message, and yeah, heist is definitely being the one thing that I come back to, or don't. The nice thing about heist is if I want to leave them, I just finished today, claimed a 7.5 day heist, got 180,000 Nana.
Let's go.
Yeah, it was nice, but I've also seen like Later Nerd get that in a 4-hour claim period, and I'm just like, man.
Yeah, dude's killing it, man.
Yeah, he's crushing it right now.
Killing it.
And, yeah, Nano's there, but heist is good. Season 2 is shaping up real nice. We'll talk about that as well. We got a long show ahead of us. I have a feeling. If not, we're going to cover it on Thursday. But Joe, how you feeling about the market, man? I know you've been, out being mountain man in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if you're brewing moonshine now or like what the deal is, but what's Joe been up to? How you feel about the market?
My man, yeah, got a nice little copper set down there. No, man, I'm feeling good about the market. I was blessed to be able to be forced to take profits, and I stuck it all in Thor, which did an amazing job for me. It has like an average right now of like almost 1467 on my Sol allocation, so I think it was able to accumulate like almost 400 Sol for me there, and that was just like speakeasy. TradeFi has been doing well. That account I haven't touched in years. I looked at that. I said, oh, wow, that was nice. But the market overall, NFT wise, I think Solana NFTs has like 5 or 6 projects that are primed to just move on the next bull swing. That's kind of like no brainers at this moment. ETH NFTs, I've never really touched much. I'm actually looking to sell my PFP. It's listed. Just because I have other DeGods and I'm looking to kind of, that's like almost, for what I'm asking, is close to like 1,500 Sol. So I'm looking to bridge that right over and make some moves here. But yeah, I think we're in a market. It's an exciting market for people that aren't over leveraged, that have other streams of income and or money on the side and aren't pressed to really make money at the moment, right? This is a great market for people in that position because you're just kind of picking and choosing and watching and listening and setting your bets up for the next bull swing. This is kind of my favorite part of the market, right? Because this is where the money's made, not when you're hearing about everything, right? So like right now it's kind of cool, right? I like to kind of sleep back into the cracks, kind of listen to spaces here and there and look at some charts and see where we're going. Macro wise, it's very intense, right? Like we have full manipulation. We have big scale companies coming in that once you're crypto, right? You guys got to remember, big money moves slow, and they started moving years ago. So you're just starting to see those tides starting to ripple in, right, to the shore. You're looking up and you're saying, oh, wow, it looks like maybe a storm's brewing. A storm's been brewing for years now. So you're just starting to see those tides shift. So I think macroeconomic wise, like we're sitting in a very turmoil spot, a lot of volatility to be had. But then again, shorting, longing, the market's all there. So I think we're in a very pivotal point of a market because a lot of people are getting tired, over leveraged and scared and leaving the market. And they're going to miss the most pivotal part. It happens every time, right, guys? So I think just lock in, take a little bit of a break if you need to, not too much. But there's positions to be had right now that will really set you up, I think, and I believe.
Yep.
Well said, dog.
I wholeheartedly agree. Let's I'm going to talk about the biggest news first, to me. And I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know how much you guys have been keeping up because it hasn't really been our job. We haven't had to do so. I literally just been heisting and, identifying a few plays here and there. But, dude, it's actually been fantasy football for me. I've digested so much fantasy football knowledge. I cannot. That's all I think about. It's literally taken over Web3 for me. But
I am so excited because I'm slotting you like 50 sold before my season. I'm going to have Bison draft for me and everything. It's going to be great, bro. I got my key right here, dude.
I've dropped $1,500 on Underdog Fantasy. Just drafting on these $5, $25 drafts. Like it's literally every single night you can find me on one. But we don't have to talk about my degeneracy there. Let's talk about the biggest news in Web3, which is the Bitcoin ETF, which is BlackRock coming in. It's not nobody. This is BlackRock. This is Papa BlackRock, the leader of all assets in the world, is coming in with, and they keep in mind, they have never been rejected for an ETF ever. So if they're coming in and they're saying now is the time, there's a few things. One, I am so excited, right? This is the clear pathway, something we have been on since 2017, 2018, had so many times just like the SEC has rejected time after time. BlackRock is the leader of this. Like, I don't see them doing anything that wouldn't be a surefire bet. And the one part of me is super excited. The other part of me is like, this is such smelly fuckery going on in this market because that stinks to high heavens, right? We're going to FUD Binance. We're going to FUD Coinbase. We're going to lower the price, and then we're going to announce our ETF. That stinks, dude. That reeks. But that's just my tinfoil hat.
You're a real estate guru, brother, and I don't know if anyone doesn't know that, right? You live and breathe that. My question to you is, you seen 10 years ago BlackRock start their journey through real estate and where it is now, how much they own, how much they've kind of monopolized. You see that now with crypto. You don't, and that's right. So you guys got to understand that, right? They don't want to buy at premiums. If they want to do with what they did with real estate, just look at history. It doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And now you can kind of look to the future and say, all right, what are they doing now? They're starting with crypto, right? And I just think you can kind of read between the lines there, just to double off what Bison said. But I'm just curious of what you think about that, B, that correlation.
Well, 100%. Like I said, BlackRock's the king. You're 100% correct. We saw, I think it was in 2012, right? 2012 is when you had a bunch of these institutions, because we haven't really seen institutions went into commercial real estate, right? Like they stayed out of residential. They might have apartment complexes and stuff, but it was usually mom and pop shops and everything like that. Especially with the advent of like Airbnb and, a lot of these different ways and mediums to rent out stuff. We started seeing a lot more institutional interest in residential. And that's why we've seen just such a massive linear parabolic, run up of home prices. But they did. It was BlackRock. It was American Homes for Rent. It was the Progress Residential. It was, yada, 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 JWB. All these corporate investors came in from 2012 to 2015 and just bought up everything. And BlackRock was one of the leaders of that. I think this is just another way, shape, and form that this is textbook buy the fear or make the fear if you're as big as them. It really is just that big. And so, you have all this fear and sell off of assets. And if Bitcoin can go in, start expecting stuff like what they haven't labeled, security, which would be ETH, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash was another one I saw. And I shout out AD because I didn't even think about that. But Bitcoin Cash, if you're taking that side of the route. But I don't know. I do see this as massive for crypto assets. It may take a while for it to catch up to Sol or any of these L1s that aren't ETH or anything like that until they finally throw out that they aren't a security, but I don't know. It's massive for me. Dor, what do you think about this news?
Yeah, man, it's huge. I'm not a huge TriFi guy, so I'm not going to be here saying, oh, an ETF is super bullish, blah, blah, blah. But I do know that it will allow institutions and people to access it more easily than other means. Is that right, Bison?
Yeah. Okay, cool. It's more securely too. It is, an electronically traded fund. They don't have to worry about, it gives them more custodial exposure without having to hold the asset or anything like that. They worry about BlackRock doing it, right? And
Okay.
they're just like, I got exposure. It's kind of like GPTC with Grayscale kind of gave them exposure. This is just more legitimate, a bigger way to get way more funds into the door.
Yeah. So for me, Joe, what you said earlier was like spot on, man. You mentioned, well, whenever he comes back, I'll continue to talk about it though. But what Joe mentioned, like several months ago, I think might have been after the FTX crash. It's like he was mentioning how all this FUD was going around, how everybody felt that crypto was going to zero, and all this legislation was talking about coming out, ending crypto, all this other crap. And Joe was one of the first people to say, it's like, look, all they're trying to do is take your crypto. And I just see that as a prime opportunity now. If you let them scare you out of your bags and you're going to buy back in at the next top, don't let them do that. They want you to buy from them. Make them buy from you. So you're already here. You're already at the bottom. Even like people were freaking out when Sol dropped from 15 to 20. Like, dog, that drop wasn't nothing. I've been here since 240 back down to $8, man. I ain't going nowhere. Like, this is not over. Like, so, but yeah, man, while there are positives, there are also negatives. And one of those negative things are them monopolizing or potentially monopolizing a significant portion of crypto. But that's also good for the individuals who held the bags throughout all of this. So yeah, man, I mean, I'm excited for it. I think this is just another way along the path of mass adoption. Oh,
100%.
And a side note is it's interesting because as opposed as people are in the States to crypto, I've been finding people abroad who are a lot more open to receiving payment in Bitcoin. Like around Mexico, you'll find a bunch of places who accept Bitcoin in payment. Our landlord was like, oh, you're paying Bitcoin? That's all day. I'll take that.
That's beautiful. And that's how it should be. And especially in a lot of these, we're just so, look, the reason the U.S. is so against it is because we are the world reserve currency, or we're kind of on our downfall. I've been saying this in so many spaces, but Ray Dalio's book of big debt cycles and just how world reserve currency life cycles last, we're coming up to the tail end of it for the U.S. dollar. 100%. It's not even close.
Easily.
And we're seeing it. Yeah. And
Bison, I think what people forget, dude, is like we spend the most money we can on defense, right? Military defense. That is not to protect anything but the dollar, because we have nothing backing it but the trust within the government that is giving it out. That's all we have. So in order to keep that is why they're dumping money. And if you just hear the little things that are coming together, like Dorian's saying about, other vendors and such, taking other payments, people trading in other currencies now that they used to trade for the dollar for 50, 60, 70 years. Like it's a realization that has to happen that is not fun to happen when you're from the USA, right? And you're American. Like it's not a great realization, a paradigm shift to happen. Your body doesn't want it to happen, but you got to really start hedging yourself, because this is a actuality that is happening in front of our eyes, right? So it's like you've got to really kind of take a step back and take your emotions out of it and protect yourself financially.
Dude, but the thing is, it's like the U.S. has been so opposed to crypto. This market's not going to stop. Let's say U.S. does pass some brutal legislation that really hurts American development. Guess what? This is a global economy, dog. This thing's going to keep on moving. So all you're going to do is keck yourself. And then 10 years down the line, it's going to be like, oh, man, well, now that X country's got the lead on this, how can we claw power back? Nah, dog, it ain't going to work like that. So instead of being having a boomer mentality, not in age, but in thought, it's like just adapt with the times and embrace them and become a forefront leader in this emerging industry.
They won't. It's just a power grasp, and they literally, like Ray lays it out in his book, exactly what happens. This is reactionary, fear mongering, sort of like we are trying to preserve as much power as possible, rather than, hey, let's help be innovative and do all this stuff. I think somebody from the BRICS is coming up for that, but we're getting way too into macroeconomic.
Yeah. Bro, I'm going to go down a deep hole here.
Yeah. And we so could, but the real question I want to ask is, Bitcoin is ripping right now, up from its lows of about 25,000 to now we are just crossing into 28,000.
Hey,
guys, what do you think this is going to do to Ordinals? Because that's the real question I have here for a lot of people, and I'm sure that is applicable.
Yeah,
man.
Dude, go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead, Dor. No, you're OMB, baby. You take this by default.
For Ordinals, I like to say we'll see the same pattern as what we saw on Sol and ETH, or at least Sol, I can't speak too much on ETH, is when price goes up, NFT floor prices pull back. But honestly, dude, I don't know. I say that because the market's so young. And the projects that are around, people are long-term believers in them. So while we might see a small pullback in floor prices, we might not see as significant as typically on Solana. Also, due to the friction, it is not easy to list things and do trading as quickly on Bitcoin as it is on Sol. And I think that's one of the another reasons why we see floor prices drop exponentially in any type of volatile movement on Solana, is just because of the less friction on the chain. So man, it's really hard for me to say, but I do think, just based off of historical, like what's been happening in the past, we'll see a pullback in some of these floor prices, and then some of them rebound and some of them won't. Honestly, most of them won't, because most of the stuff on Ordinals is straight garbage right now. Not gonna lie.
yeah, and I think this is just gold rush phase that no matter if you're Bitcoin or some new chain, you can't really avoid. We're gonna see a lot of grifters and stuff over there. I think if we haven't already, I mean, a lot of people I've seen that are known grifters are doing it over here. I'm just looking at the launchpad over on Magic Eden for Bitcoin, and just looking at some of this stuff. I'm just like, what on earth is, like, if this is supposed to be the new paradigm, I don't want any part of it, and I'll just stay over on Solana. You know, dude. But we could talk about the OMB stuff, Door. Like, while we got you, God bless, crushed it, sir, crushed it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I try not to talk about it a lot. I mean, like, it was honestly, it's still kind of surreal.
You better throw that OMB out on the table. Throw it.
Dude, it's just like it's so crazy, man. I didn't even sell. That's even crazier that I'm not selling. So I'm either a genius or an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, it's also kind of hard to sell too. Which comes with a smaller collection at this price, especially in this economy. You know, like it's tough. But no, I mean, look, you parsed out your cost and got plenty of return and got to go to the beach and everything like that. You still hold on to it. And oh, by the way, do you get a green eyes whitelist?
ZK hasn't confirmed it, but it's looking like from what people in the Discord are theorizing, and it could change, ZK's initial image released an airdrop. So if you have a green and red eyes, you're going to get an airdrop of greens, which it's probably going to be in double digits, dog. People with red and blue eyes might be getting between 12 to 15 green eyes, dog. Just airdrop to them. Okay. So, and I think if you're a uni holder like myself and other people who have either a red or blue, they might be getting dropped potentially. I don't know, ZK's wild card. I don't know what he's doing, but potentially drop between 2 to 5. So like, ZK understands the market, so he's not going to do anything to hurt the collection and hurt the potential value that the holders can get. And the holders understand that too. So I would think that even if at worst these things run 0.2 to 0.3, but I think these things will be extremely liquid around that 0.3 to 0.6 BTC range. Everybody's probably going to ape into these things like mad people. So if you're a person who gets airdropped or at least whitelisted these things, that's easy 2 to 3x, man. I don't know what to tell you. So like, these things can cook, and that's another reason like why I'm a little bit apprehensive about trying to sell my red eyes, because if I already made 0.6 BTC from my blue eyes, if I can make another Bitcoin or so from some green drops, I'll take that all day, man.
We can't really complain about that. Shout out. I mean, that was a great call. And look, I do think, I think right now we're going to go into the consolidation phase after all the shit is inscribed and minted, and we stop talking about rare sats and anything. It's just going to ultimately it's going to be who's doing the coolest shit and who garners the most attention. And I mean, the clearest bets to me are ZK, Chartfu, and so Bitcoin Bandits, and then
Taproot Wizards whenever that comes out.
Yep. Udi's in there, and then OXBT, whatever collection that looks like. I imagine that will. Those outside of that, I would not want to be holding Ordinals right now. And in fact, I probably wouldn't even want to be holding Ordinals, because if this thing rips, and I'm talking, this news is massive. We've been trying to push for an ETF for 6 years, 6 freaking years of an ETF. It's not approved yet, but it's BlackRock, right? I mean, I don't expect them not to hit with this.
No, they were rejected once in 2014, but it was off of basically they only wanted to give quarterly reports and not daily, like the SEC wanted in 2014 before they were really known. And that's why they got rejected. So like people were saying like, yeah, they've been rejected before. Not really, to be honest with you, right? It was more or less like when you go and sign up for the state police and then like rejecting you because it's like, we want to see your valor. Are you going to sign up the next year and the next year? Then we'll let you in. That type of deal, right? So I don't see them really being rejected here in any front. So yeah, I think it's something we have to start to gear up for. And what does it look like though, right? Because the self-sovereignty, decentralization that we love and came into this space for, it could be skewed and sent into a different direction for eternity, right? Like, so it's a lot of these things we have to think about, regardless of like, validators being ran and Bitcoin doing what it needs to do, regardless of price action or multiple, as long as we have one validator running somewhere in the world. I think the decentralization comes from one entity owning a mass majority that can be market made and so forth. So yeah, it's a lot on the horizon, but all that speculation gears up for extreme volatility, and that's in the favor of us.
Yeah, I think my thing with like central authority holding so much and whatnot, to me this is actually good because I know a lot of Chinese entities hold way more than BlackRock can probably even get their hands on right now. And that's just because, mining was so profitable for Bitcoin for so long until they shut it down. Like basically the Chinese government shut it down. And then now we're opening it back up and it seems like a much more open economy. I'm just curious because if we reject this ETF from BlackRock, to me, that just is a clear signal that the US wants zero to do with crypto. And this is going to be the least crypto-friendly nation in the world, in my opinion. Like, I honestly believe that because you could not come from a more legit entity with this. So, I don't know. All right, done beating a dead horse. We talked about the ETF. It is massive. Like, guys, please do your homework on this. This could be the start of the next bull run. And poor Doors connection. I don't know what's going on over here, but the boy keeps going in and out. So, anywho, let's talk about some NFTs, Joe. Let's talk about some NFTs. I actually do think this is a good time to start looking at this. First off, we can talk about Mad Lads. You want to talk about Mad Lads? It was David McCrab David or Mad Crab David or whatever his name is over on Twitter. Basically bought like 400 Mad Lads, swept them all the way up to 105. They've come down since. Obviously, when something runs up that hard, especially in this market, people are always going to take the opportunity to buy back in. So not sure what was going on over there, but that made up like half the volume for the entire Solana ecosystem because we're at what, 111 or so according to TXO. Outside of that, zero monkey business. Since we've been gone, on an absolute tear. I mean, you get some cool down periods, you think it's over, and ZMB is just going to run. I obviously related to OMB just because it's the same artist with Tony. Still wanted to have Tony was supposed to come on a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago and never did. So we're gonna have to reschedule him at some point. Claynosaurus with a nice run up, dude. I'm telling you right now, I have a floor alert for croissants, right? Croissants. And it's been going crazy. It's been going, like up 10%, up 10%, up 10%. And I think Armor's coming soon, Joe. I think Armor's coming soon.
Yeah, and that's right on the cusp there.
Yeah, I think Armor is going to be a bigger event than people are realizing. And it feels like everything's in motion. We start seeing a lot of they opened up their TikTok, which actually is super bullish to me. This is, this is their, Pudgy taking over.
I think of Angry Birds, right? I do think of Angry Birds trajectory, game, TikTok, social, then movie, right? And I kind of think of that trajectory. And if you think about Claynosaurs in the same, right? You kind of not fixing the wheel, but kind of do you want more tread? Do you want more speed? There's all different ways to do a wheel. You don't need to change the actual infrastructure of that wheel. And I think they're pursuing a route much like Angry Birds, and I do think they have that chance. So that's another one, man. That's in this range of, I don't think it's going lower than 45 SOL. At these prices, I don't think 45 to 55 SOL is probably that macro accumulation to get your beak wet for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
look,
dude.
It was every time it went sub 50. or if it went into the low 50s or anything like that, it was usually always a good time to buy. I still think there's higher multiple plays out there, but if you want a safe medium to long term, set it and forget it, throw it in your ledger, throw it in your whatever wallet you want to use, and just be like, I'll check in on this in a couple of months. I don't think there's a safer play in crypto right now, or especially on Solana NFTs. Door, what are you looking at right now? Because we have a lot to talk about. I mean, there's quite a bit, but I just want to talk about NFTs for a second.
Yeah. So primarily what I'm looking at on, I'm not looking at anything on Ordinals right now, nothing. On Solana, I'm bodogos, all day, every day. If you don't ape into that, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know where the floor is going to be, but I plan on sweeping some. Klanos is just a good bet. I know I cut out there for a second, but I heard you guys talking about armor. I'm thinking about buying back into a golden claymaker, just because whenever armor does release, those things are going to freaking send. Another one I'm looking at is Gen 3 for SMB. I think those are easy bet in my opinion. If you're able to enter the raffle, and I don't think Gen 3 is going to hit 100 soul. I just don't see it. But I do think that if you're trying to get into Monkey DAO and you're able to get it for 20 to 30 soul, that's a steal for me. It's a no-brainer. And because I'm in Monkey DAO, I do plan on minting, obviously, my whitelist, buying more whitelists as much as possible, and then entering the rest of the liquidity I have into the whitelist raffles in hopes of me getting some more at that. And then I just plan on trading that. But those are the primary upcoming things those are the things that I'm looking at in the market. And also, I know I'm going to segue into heist because I cannot talk more highly about the heist, man. Dude, this bear market, nothing has been going on. It's all this time where things were trading sideways. We even saw chimps go down to, I think, 10 or 11 soul. Dude, you should have just been playing the heist, man. I've been playing since mint, made up well over my cost basis, bought more chimps, made the cost basis back for that, been just accumulating Nana at the bottom. Nana's pumped. I just don't know what else to say. 37% of the total supply has been burnt so far, and you're going to need it for season 2. People don't realize Heist's been out for about, 2 months now? Almost?
Yeah.
Season 2 is going to be coming in another 2 months. So I'm just going to be collecting Nana all during that time. I've been finally keeping spreadsheets. And I think during the month of up so far from the 1st to the 20th, I made about $1,000 in Nana. So that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I dude, today I literally ripped $500 worth of Nana if you wanted to view it as that.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, look, keep a bag of Nana, invest some into the game. And profit take. I will always tell you profit take. You guys, if there is value on the token, you could take profit and start de-risking so you can just hold a bag of heist, because I promise you we got stuff cooked up for season 2. It's going to be nice. But let's talk about bodogos. I definitely want to talk about bodogos because holy cow, I am so excited. The day's finally here. I was trying to get easy on the show, so now I'm going to FUD just a little bit. I'm going to be a little less nice on my critique for it, but I'm so excited for bodogos. And I gotta say, I've been talking back and forth with Easy for a while, and they've been going back and forth on art. He showed me a bunch of iterations, asked me which ones I like. This was it for me. There wasn't anything that touches the cuteness and simplicity of this. The last thing we saw anything that's of similar anything to this was fruits. And I know you can make as much fun of it as you want to. Fruits art slapped. Dude, there's still some people who use the fruits PFP because it's so simple and just fun. And I can see this being, widely attracted to a broad audience. So for me, this was everything I wanted it to be. It's so beautiful. It's so simple. It's just one breed for right now, but they are going to release more and more. But we've seen a lot of iterations of art, and I'm excited with how it turned out. I think it looks good as a PFP. And I think it's going to be cheap enough that people are going to be able to ape into this. And we're going to see this rapid price appreciation like we saw with, you see Bombaclot literally went up to 20 soul from half a soul mint or whatever it was. That's a 40x, dude. Yeah. These low soul mints are cooking right now.
The other one too, what was it? It was 183,000 supply or something.
The faceless. Yes. You're talking about 350K supply.
Yeah, those cooked. Shake
Yep.
got Shake, Smokey. See, this is why y'all need to be in Cyber Samurai. We were talking about these like Shake and Smoke. Go ahead.
No, bro, it's just a simple psychology. It's so
Yeah.
funny to see people. You start at a low entry price, and then you see FOMO within that happen, and they do it to themselves. There's such a low entry price that they throw money. Then it's a soul, and it's just a soul, and the next thing you know, you're 3 soul from a 0.005 soul mint, like a free, right? And it's just like, I think that's what is needed to be done more in a bear market by teams that can actually show that they can recycle that fund back into the actual project, right? Because it is fun to do these, but like, what are these projects holding? I know the one Bombaclat is Polygon. They might have a whole system that they're recycling into, but I don't think it's a bad idea just to throw money makers out there for yourself and for others, and then but show a real true use case for that utility, right? For that money that you are making from fees or market making or whatever such you drop in these projects. So I think there's a case to be made actually for these type of projects during the bear market that are done by actually reputable projects. Some would say that's counterintuitive than what you would usually think, but I think that's actually a spot for it, to be honest.
Yeah. I think fun is the name of the game right now. And for some people, fun looks like just cheap degen mints that they can throw some stuff into a wallet and just have fun with. The Faceless was a good example.
Yep.
Drip is doing stuff. We now have, I don't know if you got some in your wallets, but we have Me cartridges, which is going to be their version. I guess it's going to be like a boost for their Me Jump game, which is how they're going to allocate whitelist for Migos. It's just one of many ways, right? For Migos for Blocksmith. This is all fun. And I know with Bodogos, there's going to be gamification with the breed style and what you can do with it and how long you keep it, in the dog house or something like that. I don't know. The last time I checked with Easy, that's what it was going to be. But fun is the name of the game right now. It ain't rocket science, just something to do, something to trade, something to market make. I mean, I'm market making with racks right now, and I got to say, I've been cooking on fees, dude. The APY on this thing is like 300%. So, anything you can do right now just to have fun, keep your liquidity intact and make money is just, it's beautiful. So, but we're seeing this across the board. ZMB was literally 1 SOL and rocketed up to 38.5. Foxbite just minted today. It was I think a sub 1 SOL, maybe 1 SOL mint. It's now at 3.19. We now have, I guarantee you're going to see it. Region 79. I saw some people calling that. That was like a nothing burger on cost. It was like a 0.25 SOL mint, and now it's at 1.7. I mean, the name of the game right now, we have these metas, is low SOL mints. And if you want to play that game, look, there's people that are way better at that than I am. Like, I don't have my ear to the ground like that, but I think compression NFTs, CNFTs, which Tensor now, you can trade on Tensor. We see this with Dialect sticker packs too. A lot of people are trying to collect those sticker packs. They're cooking. I think this is going to be the route to go. And this is one of the reasons I'm a little scared of SMB Gen 3. Not saying it won't cook, not saying it's not going to go, to the moon or anything like that, because I do think there is a ton of value. It's just, do you want the risk of minting that right now? I'm going to go into the raffle. I'm 100% going to go into the raffle. Why not? If I get my money back, great. If I don't make it, and if I do make it, I think 20 SOL is a fair price for Gen 3 and what, Monkey DAO provides to the community. But I'm just wondering where the liquidity is going to come for a 15K collection. Let's go Door and then Joe. I don't know if you guys can hear me still.
Yeah, you broke up for me.
Yeah, man.
That passed. I thought he broke up for both of us. Door, could you hear him? That was me. All right, sorry.
I can't see Door.
I can hear you, Bison, but you did break up the last 5 seconds of that. I heard 15,000 collection at the end, and that was about it. Yeah,
it was 15,000 collection, and then the high mint price that goes with it. Did you hear all of that?
For Amigos, correct?
No. For Gen 3 SMB.
Oh, yeah. No, I did hear all that. Yeah. So Are you asking my opinion on that?
Yeah,
audience, I'm sorry.
What are you going to do with that?
So for me, to be honest with you, I will play secondary. I just think there's a lot of what ifs, and they're asking a lot of SOL. Of course, they did a lot of work without pay. Then others are saying, the pay was subsidized through whitelist and other guaranteed things that they got. I just think there's a lot of what ifs, and the first 4,000 is going to mint at a pretty sizable reduction of cost. So there could be some flips being done. I mean, I think people are wanting to take profits if they've held SMB for a while, especially through all of this. And I don't know, it just scares me a little bit as an investor to reach out and maybe get a Gen 2 now as well, because it's kind of like, are you stuck with that? And there's just too many what ifs as an investor and trader for me to go and allocate, 50 to 200 sold to try to like sweep or get a few that I could play with. So I think I'll wait for secondary, and I might be proven wrong through price action, right? And then I'll reevaluate. But I think I might take a back seat, B, until secondary, brother.
I think that's well, for the most part, it's going to be what I do. I am going to enter the raffle just because if I get one at raffle price and it goes nuclear, goes up to 100 or replicates Utes prices, then at least I have some exposure. But I think if I get into the raffle, great. If I don't get in, I'm taking a back seat and I'll just watch it from the sidelines and we'll see what happens. I think SMBs love SMBs. I think there is not a more diehard loyal community in Solana right now than SMBs since we lost D-Gods and everything like that. Because I would say that was the only group that really rivaled SMB loyalty. And that would be where I would come in, like, try your hand at a raffle. If you got 20 SOL on hand and you want to play that, that's going to be what I do. But outside of that, I'm waiting for like a lot of price history on secondary before because I don't know. I don't know what happens. And one of the big value premises for SMB is like the pre-sale and whitelist and tight knit community and all that good stuff. And when you go to a 15K collection, it's like, well, is there going to be a hierarchy? Is SMB, V2 going to shit on, SMB V3? And like, what does that hierarchy look like? And so I think that's really the big question for me. Door, are you back yet? Can you hear all that? We can't. Oh, he's gone. Oh God. Door's pulling.
Yeah, I heard most of that. B. I don't know how I'm coming across to you guys.
There we go. I hear you now.
What's that?
I hear you now.
Yeah, you're good, brother.
Oh, bro, his connection is so bad today. He's pulling a Joe.
He's pulling me.
Okay.
But no, what I agree with you, Bison. I think actually, you might have changed. I think I'll probably try at the raffle as well, just because the risk to reward is there. It truly is. Because they do have the extra capital to kind of start cranking out some shit. We've seen them in turmoil for a while, stuck in the mud, but they have so many subsidiaries that are like done by community members that like you see what happens with Utes and D-Gods and D-Athletics, all these other things already. Like there's monkey ventures for freaking everything, like financial, economics, music, like you name it, they got it. So there is a chance that if they do have some capital, they could crank some really cool stuff. But what happens like with the Gen? So I guess they would just have to incentivize Gen 2 more always to keep the hierarchy, to keep the structure of said community. Because if you let the Gen 2 die out slowly, it kind of kills the brand in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like you have to keep that as the, they get the 2 versus the 1 type of deal.
This is my biggest gripe, I think, because I don't even mind the 15K collection. They decided to go more the Tayo and Tayo Infants route versus the D-Gods, and then completely separate IP of Utes. And I wish they did that route. One, they probably wouldn't have been so entangled with have to buy the IP and worry about the loan, and that's why they're getting a lot of liquidity to pay back Soul Big Brain for buying the IP. And to me, it's just like you could have made a second IP that was separate, but still same but different, like D-Gods and Utes. And I think that's kind of where I was like, man, why didn't you just do that? You would have been $2 million richer, not have to pay back SBB on that loan, and you could have done more with that money. I don't know. That's just like my two cents on it. To me, I'd rather allocate. Like I said, I'm gonna go into the raffle. I'm not going to fade Monkey DAO by any means. I think they have plans up their sleeve and everything like that. Like you said, Monkey Ventures has an arm for everything, and I think they're only going to expand, especially when they actually have money on hand. But I'm more interested in stuff like Bodoggos. I think there's just a higher multiple there in a trading perspective, right? I think it's going to be reasonably priced, and it's not going to be a 20 SOL entry. It's going to be like a 3 SOL entry,
It's going to be, and it's got a real thought process behind it. Like I don't think people are realizing like litters and all different types of I mean, Like, did you see the comic book that dropped, the trailer today?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that,
sick.
dude,
It was so
you know what
sick.
I'm saying? Like, and we haven't had any real since Klano. You remember when Klano was pumping out content and that whole field to that market at that moment? I just think with Easy, I mean, he kind of cross bridge to ETH is there. And I think any other project we've seen with that nature, right? Let's say for people that just enter the market, right? We had OVOs that had some ETH love, right? We had obviously Mad Lads that had some ETH love, Klanos that had some ETH love. OK Bears back, full love ETH was kind of their mainstay. And you any of these projects that kind of have that crossover with one lead figure to them, it's not like a DAO. It is you can look at Easy and know Easy. He's dots. People have met Easy. People love Easy. I think you start to see the Nifty Portal family. And I think there's a true case to be made, rather you're biased or not, but just from an all-out liquidity event, right? Of more people touching their wallets to just engage with this mint or secondary is going to be there. So yeah, I think it's kind of a no-brainer. I think now the question is obviously everyone's buying. When is the question, right? When and how is really like what do you do, right? You leveraging yourself, you loaning some out, or you looking for a set price, watching price action live. So it's going to be fun because we're thinking this. So is every other trader, and that's how price action moves up, right? Because everyone's starting to FOMO and not try to catch a bot, and it just kind of rolls down the hill like shit on a stick, and just gathers as we go. So
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I don't know. We just got so much coming on the horizon, and I'm starting to see buyers uptick, and the metrics are pointing to at least a little relief rally over here in NFT land. And it's nice because Papa Bitcoin is dragging up the underlying asset market. We're now at 16.5 versus 15, or even in the 14s we saw for Solana.
with
So that's
BTC dominance for that 50%. So
yeah.
which is great to see that price movement on the alts with dominance grabbing percentage like that is really cool to see. Like strength wise, is there's accumulation happening. There's real volume. It's not fake volume, market making volume. It's actual real volume to push us up from the lows of 12 up to 16. Gathering 1528 is a big level for me on this weekly. About 4-ish days left, I think, on the weekly close. But yeah, I think we see a double black swan event here without a lower low. We can continue a higher low from that first black swan FTX, and then we had our second. I think we can really make a case with the Hong Kong wheels clogging, and I think we can see a bull market starting to like the essence of it, right? And we go from here. It's just we're live action with it being, and we've been here a few cycles, so it's honestly cool to see it happening in the same way, but just with a different background.
100%. Okay. Yeah, I there's a lot to be excited for. I think Migos, Bodagos, Sandbar, Gen 3, SMB, or the Monkeys, I guess they want to be called. There's a lot, and all the DGen mints that are going to soon follow. There's going to be a lot of liquidity rotating between all these wallets. So let's segue into the last two bits I want to get into, actually three, but you mentioned ovals, and I think this is a great segue because Sniper, now Sniper, not Soul Sniper anymore.
Formerly
Sniper,
known as Soul Sniper.
That's right. We've been hinting at it, and look, I didn't know they were going to partner up with Elixir, but I was in NYC, and anybody who was with Max and Jacob and talking to Swerver and stuff, you can see they were talking a good bit. So I had a feeling this was going to happen, and I know Salami Mommy was, or I guess just Mommy now, he even dropped the soul out of his name. I can't keep it straight anymore, but we saw that there was going to be something, and I wasn't sure when it was going to happen, but they have now announced that they're going to be a marketplace. They are actually going to be an exchange, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a club, so a central limit order book to trade NFTs. It's going to be interoperable between marketplaces and exchanges. This is exciting for me. This is what I think is going to be I think this is going to be our third competitor into the market, legitimate. And I think this is going to be the downfall of Magic Eden. Like Magic Eden finally got onto aggregation and everything. I just think Tensor's a value prop, and then you now have Sniper coming in with the club. And oh, by the way, they've mentioned something about rewards. This is going to be powerful. Now, I don't think there's this is a unique value proposition. Two, never fade Max or anybody over on the Sniper team. This is big for me. I think this will actually attract a lot of liquidity for people that are looking for a little bit more of a streamlined process, like possibly even better than Tensor. We'll see when it comes out. I'm not going to say that just yet, but I think this could be something to watch out for. Speaking of ovals, though, they have now gone up to 7.7. They were hitting a low of like 7. I think they might be a buy here. The only problem is, like, you look at some of these pools, dude. There's a 27 pool, there's a 205 pool, there's an 11 pool. Like, and this is all on the floor. That's the only thing I'm scared of. But I want to get into ovals right now. This is sub 10 SOL. Like, this is what they minted for, and I think there can be like Sniper isn't going to make an NFT collection, but ovals is. And if they're partnering with Sniper, I think this can actually be a play. Just be on the lookout for Sniper. If you guys have time today, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they actually have a stacked space with Soul Big Brain, Turned Up Dylan, Vashi, somebody else too. I cannot remember for the life of me. But
I think it's Doc.
So what?
Doc.
That's right. It is Doc. Dude, how can I forget Doc? He's like one of our biggest whales in Heist. But yeah, no. So it's going to be a stack panel. If you guys have time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, make sure you tune in. If not, go listen to the recording, because I think it'll explain what a club is to a lot of people that are unfamiliar with the actual like TradFi way of trading and everything like that. Like, this is going to bring in and usher in a new way of trading NFTs in a very streamlined approach that I think is actually like really interesting. But we'll see how it all plays out. I'm curious to see how it goes. And then the last thing I wanted to get into before we go into a little alpha corner is the Banks mint. So Banks is publicly minting, I think, in a couple of days. But, you know, if you already had your Fract and your Pawn Shop Nomis, you can convert them over to Banks, which is Fract's new NFT collection. Do you know anything about this, Joe? Because I don't. I know Shake's bullish on it. I see a lot of people I respect bullish on it. But I'm not sure what it is.
No, to be honest with you, I have no idea what it is either. I never was a Fract holder or a Fract participant in any way, shape, or form. I know they're a solid team with a solid track record and longevity-based project now with infrastructure that's pretty legit and people love them. So, yeah, I would actually like to know more about it too. But no, I'm not too sure what it is and what value it gives back to the holder.
Yeah. Dor, do you know anything about the Banks mint or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know, Guy. How's my video quality and audio real quick? Is it
You're
like
fine.
terrible?
You're
Okay.
fine. No, you're good.
No, you're back in it. You're back in it
Yeah.
to win it, brother.
Thanks, man. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I don't know nothing about it, dude. Like, the PFPs are nice from what I've seen. I prefer more simplicity. Such as, I mean, it's fine. I guess if it does well, this will be one of the ones I miss.
Yeah, what is it? It's basically like a 12 SOL mint if you go into Fract or Pawn Shop Nomis right now. And I think if it hits public, I think it's maybe 10
it's
SOL.
100% rev share protocol.
Yeah, boy.
So every Banks is a VIP pass. A first class user of the protocol, Banks holders get fee discounts up to 100% free loans, liquidation raffle tickets, referral program boost. Banks is liquid AF. 30% of mint funds are allocated to AMM pools and high LTV, super low interest loans. So enter, exit, swap, borrow at will. Liquidity is the core base to it. So you're looking at staking, P2P loans, fully fungible liquidation engine. Wow. So yeah, they're doing top tier art, I guess they're saying as well. So we shall see.
Like, for me, man, I don't want to be the one who's bearish and I'm not fudding them. But Fract and Pawn for a while, dude. And then Sharkify came in and utilized. So for me, I think we go back to the thing. There's multiple loan platforms. Rev share is not bullish. If nobody's using your platform, then what rev is going
and it's not even rev share for Banks.
Yeah.
They're 100% rev share protocol, they're not giving that to Banks. That's just what they are technically, right? So they're giving you a discount on that protocol. So yeah, I agree, Dor.
No, go ahead, B.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, like, it's interesting to me. I can see this being a 2x, you know, going up to 20, 25.
Oh yeah,
like
it'll
that.
be a good trade. 30% of mint funds are allocated to literally buying back their NFTs, right? Like, that's what that is. It's for super low interest loans that are allocated to AMM pools. So that's like almost 14,000 SOL that's going to be there for traders, right? And people that want to take loans and leverage long and do things like that. So I can see it definitely trading well. It's just set to, right?
Yeah. I 100% agree. I just look, it's going back to my original thesis. Right now, you ride a trend. The trend is these lower mint costs. If I wanted to spend that much SOL on something, I am going to go with SMB. I would rather go with the tried and true. I do think this is a pretty good trade for like a 2x or something like that, but you got to find the liquidity for it. These rev share plays, this may be ushering in another one. And we've seen what Sol Casino did, dude. It pumped up to 40 SOL. So
20K is a lot, though. 20K supply is a lot.
Yep.
And it's a lot of SOL that you're trying to get out of the community. I know 50% you're saying is going into POLs, like protocol owned liquidity, so it's like going to your holders basically, but it's just a lot still, man. It's a lot. So we shall see, though. This will give us a good read I think at the least of where we are in the market, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That's as you saying, B, it's the meta has been kind of these low call 12 SOL is a bit opinion, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, let's wrap it up, boys. We are at our hour mark. Time flies when you're having fun and coming back in.
Yeah, man, it's been a blast.
Let's talk some alpha. I got a question for you guys. Would you rather have 2 Claynosaurs or 1 Mad Lad?
Claynos. If we're talking about for upside, Claynos. I think both of them are best. I think Claynos. It's hard, but I go Claynos.
And I'll tell you why on top of that.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, can you hear me? Am I stepping on door? All right, sorry. I don't know if I was stepping on the door. Claynos too, and I'll tell you why. For the short-term trader or mid-term trader, Mad Lads has kind of showed its hand, obviously, right? You have what it's going to be, and then they're going to build out, obviously, something big, and they'll let you know. Claynos had its hand. Now it's being reshuffled, and it's about to dish out its fresh 3 for its Hold'em run, right? So I think like that is why, right? Because we've seen the lows, accumulation from hype incoming, and I think just from a trader standpoint, it makes sense for Claynos, man. Over Mad Lads. No offense to anybody, right? It's just from a strict, unbiased opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I think Clayno is going to definitely be the play there, and we're going to see what happens with it. I don't know, because like, look, okay, if Mad Lads breaches 100 and stays above there, like we see it go on a D-Gods run, and that's the one thing I think is like the real up pull for me is. We saw what happened with D-Gods. Once it broke that 100 SOL floor, the sky was the limit. You know what I mean? Like it just went parabolic. Got a ton of money coming in, and I can see this being the collection that's repped by a ton of people. I would rather wait till it holds this 100 SOL floor. I'd rather buy at 120 than buy right now at 90 and watch it reject back down to 60.
I completely agree, dude. And that I was going to hit something similar. Like I'm not a TA master, but I'm like, I rather buy up instead of buying early sometimes. And Mad Lads was one of those cases. Like its initial ran up, almost hit 100, pulled back to like that 60, that 40 range. Didn't catch it then. Still watching it, running back up towards 100. I'm fine, like not getting in that 40. Yeah, it sucks, but it ain't the end of the world. So if it can hold that 100 range, I'll buy in probably 2 or 3 then and chill. But if we're talking about for more, for I guess lesser time frame trading, I just still think Claynosaurus has more potential in the short term because of the points Joe hit on. Like we know things that are coming for them, and it's been a good bit since they had any major announcement. So as soon as they make a tweet or reference anything, those things are going to run.
Yep, I 100% agree. Okay, guys, I mean, we can get into some alpha if you want to. Go ahead and share one collection that you have your eye on that is just like laser focus until we get to Bodagos, because that's where all my liquidity is going. But if you had to pick one collection, what are you looking at right now? We'll go Door first and then Joe.
One collection, man. Once again, Heist. My trading style's long and slow, man. No need to rush it. It's cooking, dude. It's been cooking for 2 months now. So Heist, easy.
All right, fair enough. Love the call. Joe, what do you got?
Honestly, super easy is Cyber Frogs. I've peeked behind the veil, and what they have in the next 3 months is they'll probably be 1 to 2 of the top projects on Solana, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my vote.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I love both of those calls. I definitely, dude, Cyber Frogs. I think at this point, you're just doing yourself a disservice if you don't hold one. Just with the access to Thor and what you get from it. But
it gave you buys under $14 for Solana on the daily way back before anything. Like, and and it just kind of like, yeah, just one frog alone gets you so much incoming though. That's and BTC liquidity is coming, right? There's BTC actual software as service going to be dropped for their Ordinal project that's coming as well. And it's going to be not low sucking liquidity. It's going to be a legit actual utility that'll be part of it. And also you get all the benefits as well, but like an actual unique utility that will help you stack sats as a Bitcoin lover. So I just think there's a lot behind the veil that people aren't thinking about because they don't care about the mass hype. They care about rewarding their holders. So as long as their holders know what they're doing, the mass isn't going to know, right? Because that's not their play. Their play isn't weaponized speculation. Their play is just provide utility, and they know eventually the mass adoption will come for them. So that's where I'm like a door right now, man. I'm really betting the long term with CF here with Cyber Frogs.
Mhm.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm trying to look at collections because I like both of those calls right now. I don't even know why I was asking this because I don't really have a call right now. Really, all my liquidity is going towards Bodagos. But gun to my head, if I had to pick something, I would probably go into Claynosaurus, but that's just a really high play, and I don't want to allocate lick to that right now. If I want to play on the lower side of things, I would probably go with ovals. And I know that goes against my if this sniper partnership hits, if sniper is a success and they are partnered with ovals and ovals get some way, shape, or form benefit of that, I think that is, look, it's at 7 SOL. Like these things were at 40 at one point in time. And I like Swerver. I love the sniper team. To me, I think this is about as low as they go. And but I've been calling that for a while. And so I'm afraid to call it again, but just looking at this, like, bro, it's 3 SOL below what their mint price was. To me, it just feels like a buy. And, if I miss out, I'll have my finger ready on the sell now trigger and, I'll take the marginal loss I can. But I think I'm going to go with some ovals until we get Bodagos. Then I'm just going to literally throw all my liquidity in there. Bodagos to 50 SOL minimum. And that's it. That's how we play it. So thank you guys. Seriously, first show back. We're going to get back into it. Normal schedule, Tuesday, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on YouTube, on all of our Twitters. You can also catch us on Apple and Spotify as well. We will have the episodes uploaded to those podcast platforms momentarily after the episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's good to be back. We'll see you on